Hello, I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, aka Doc, with another one of these little videos designed to help you to get through these strange days in which we find ourselves, and these yet remain strange days indeed. This is from a purely Christian perspective, 7 steps to post-pandemic success. It's found in the book of 1 Chronicles, the 11th chapter, where King David comes into his kingdom. Last Monday, we discovered you first gather your strengths. And then we discovered that you have to confirm covenant. We have, as the people of God, a covenant with God. We're told in Hebrews 8 chapter, the 6th verse, that Jesus is the mediator of a better covenant established on better promises. Now, what does that mean in modern English? It simply means this: Jesus is the go-between of a stronger covenant. What's a covenant? A covenant is a contract between two people. In this case, it's a contract between God and Christ, and you and I are the beneficiaries of that contract. Why is it a stronger contract? Well, under the old contract, that would be the law, Deuteronomy 6 verse 25, Israel said, "This shall be our righteousness if we observe to do according to all that is written therein," and then they immediately broke the law. Every so often people have a brouhaha about the 10 Commandments. We're not under the 10 Commandments. No, we have gone beyond the 10 Commandments. We have a stronger contract, and Jesus is the go-between in that stronger contract. The Bible tells us, Romans 10 verse 4, that Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believes. Now, how does that translate into everyday life? It frees you from guilt and condemnation and brings you into a revelation that you have the promise of Abraham manifesting in your life. Galatians 3 verse 13, Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us, as it is written, "Cursed is everyone that hangeth upon a tree," that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. What was the promise of the Spirit? That we would be justified apart from the works of the law. We're not under law, we are under grace. And if you want to have post-pandemic success, you need to affirm every day that you're not under the law, you're under grace. And then possess, number 3, possess your possession of peace. 1 Chronicles 11 verse 4, and David and all of Israel went to Jerusalem. The word Jerusalem means 2 different things. It first speaks of duality. It speaks of the 2 peaks that Jerusalem was founded on, but it also is your possession of peace. And that word peace, shalom, in the Hebrew means peace, prosperity, it means preservation, it means security, it means perfect soundness and safety. It's the gospel all wrapped up in one word, perfect peace. That would keep him, the Bible tells us, in perfect peace whose mind is stayed upon thee. How do you possess your possession of peace? Well, 2 ways. The first is you recognize, there is therefore now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus. If you're in Christ, you're free from the bondage of the law. There is no condemnation. You stand justified. I want you to say that word out loud. Say it out loud, justified. You stand justified. What does it mean to be justified? See, most Christians think in terms of their sins being forgiven. Justification is far more than forgiveness. Justification is not only forgiving, it's forgetting. It's God putting you in a position as though you had never sinned before, as though there was no sin or no imperfection in your life. You are perfectly imperfect in the sight of God. Let me say that again. You are perfectly imperfect in the sight of God. And when you come into that understanding, it brings you to a place of peace. You're not struggling, you're not striving, you're not trying to please God. You just simply recognize your relationship that you have with God in Christ. And when you recognize that relationship, sin and Satan have no hold over your life any longer, and you can live a truly victorious life. The second aspect of possessing your possession of peace is you have to renew your mind. I quoted Isaiah 26 verse 3 a moment ago, that will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed upon thee. They used to sing a song in the old church, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. And if you recognize that the greater one does indeed dwell in you, not in a theological sense, not in a ethereal sense, in a real way, you are indwelt by the Spirit of God. And the Bible tells us in 1 John 4 verse 4, but you are of God, little children. Would you say that out loud? I'm of God. But you are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Anything you're facing today, the greater one is dwelling within you. Well, I'm going to pick this up again on Friday, and this Sunday at Aspire Church, we're going to experience something special. I've got a word that I want to share with you that I know is going to change your life and help set you up in these post-pandemic, new normal, strange days in which we find ourselves. Catch it live on the live stream at aspirechurch.tv. Catch it on Facebook at Aspire Church TV. That's Facebook, Aspire Church TV, live stream aspirechurch.tv, Sunday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And once again, I'll be back Friday, concluding this series of teachings on 7 steps to post-pandemic success. I want you to succeed. I really do. I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, a.k.a. Doc. I'll see you then.